this is Eli-Ben-Abraham, and once again, let's consider this in the nature of a experiment with me trying to see whether my new equipment is going to work out well for me. Please let me ask all of you a very big favor. Help your grandfather Eli out. If you haven't liked and subscribed at some point during this video, please take the time to like and subscribe and share. I wanted to take an opportunity to make a new video. And I saw a video by Max One and another gentleman today that really scared me. Scared me in the sense that I did not understand the impact that something that I am Marwa, the self-styled king of Nyabohanset, is doing, and the danger that that creates for the community. Everybody knows how important that river is to Nyabohanset and the surrounding community. And when Marwa takes it upon himself to take this water and use it to create a personal swimming pool for himself and a mud bath for the Europeans that are coming, he's endangering that entire community. Okay, it means that in violation of Kenyan law, he's interfering with the ability of people in that community to use water to drink, use water for their cattle, use water for all of the different uses that a community has for water. And we all know that water is central to life. You know, apparently in the nation of Kenya, you know, there are a lot of laws and regulations concerning the use of water. My understanding is that you cannot build within 10 meters of a body of a river. Marwa is ignoring all of this. Marwa is pretty much a one-man wrecking crew, and he's doing pretty much whatever he chooses to do, you know, with that river, with that land. Additionally, I found out by looking at a video by Kung Fu Fanta, peace be upon him. I was not very nice in the past to Kung Fu Fanta, and I regret that. But if you watch very carefully, apparently the land that was gifted to Marwa by his stepfather sits upon a piece of wetland. If you notice, if you dig a hole anywhere in that compound, it fills with water very quickly. It's a wetland. That's why the mother at one point said that she had grown rice in some part of that compound. Well, there are very careful regulations about what you can do on wetlands. Why is that? Again, if you notice, all of the other videos, all of the other YouTubers that are building houses have a great deal of problems digging wells. Water is very important in that part of the world, and when you have a piece of ground that has a lot of water in it, it means that it can very easily affect the water table underneath the property, and so it could have a vast impact on the entire community. Plus, you have heard Marwa himself say that the Magori River ends up affecting the Nile River, the Mediterranean. You know, this is a huge thing. And I was watching all of this nonsense that Marwa is doing with the river, and I was saying to myself, is there nobody in a position of authority who realizes how dangerous what this man is doing is? And apparently, yeah, they're aware of that. And from what I have heard on other videos, in situations like this, the Kenyan government can step in and just destroy that property, destroy that house that he's built, and go ahead and do some sort of forfeiture where it takes away the property from the people that are living on it. So whether Marwa knows it or not, he's putting himself in a position in which he can end up having a lot of problems. And I think that he's become aware of that. If you've noticed something, Marwa was pushing to open what Matata calls the mud cesspool, at the Trilla in Manila at the villa. Suddenly, not so much. What's going on? Why is it that suddenly he no longer wants to open up the mud work? The person who I would adopt as a son if I could, only Mawira, he's been trying to push to have the cesspool open too. Suddenly there's kind of like they put a halt on that whole thing. Why is that? Apparently people are advising him, hey, you're violating a lot of laws. You're putting yourself in a position in which you can end up in a lot of problems. The person who comes out looking like a true villain out of this whole thing is the so-called engineer who acts like if he knows everything and apparently knows nothing. I will never forgive the way that him and Marwa tore Jane Kinga up. I heard her on a video from Kung Fu Panda talking, and that girl is heroic. I am a person who has had health issues, and at various points in my life I have coped with physical ailments, and I know what it is to suffer. But how she describes her illness, fibromyalgia, that's a completely different level. I have never dealt with a sickness that has me in complete and total pain for years and years and years. That poor woman, at some point or the other, if Marwa is any kind of a human being, he needs to ask that woman for forgiveness. I notice that he tends to treat certain people more harshly than others, and you have to take it into context. Marwa is, whether anybody chooses to see it or not, Marwa is a anti-black racist. This is why else would you prefer women that are white over women that are black? If you look at some of those women that are around Marwa, Village Cook, T, there's several of them. These women are all beauties. I mean, people may criticize T, but every time I look at that woman, at her face, her body and everything, I say to myself, wow. How can a man be around those kind of women and not really want them, want a white woman? Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of women that are white who are very beautiful, but the reason that Marwa doesn't want to be around those kind of women is probably to a certain extent, Marwa has grown up in a Negropean community, the Seventh-day Adventist community, and he's been led to believe that dark-skinned people are not really attractive. So my theory about how he treated Jane is that Jane is a very beautiful woman, but she's not light-skinned. If you notice something, the fair-skinned women that are around Marwa, or the brown-skinned women, get treated a certain kind of way. And then you have that Irish woman who came, who looked, I'm not going to put her down. I'm just going to say that, I did not find her to be a beautiful woman. Marwa was tripping all over himself, had her in his house, and was so happy. Marwa is a self-hating person. He hates dark skin. It's like He said something that was so pathetic to his mother the other day. He held his hand next to hers and said, "Look, Mom, I'm so dark-skinned. How can a brown-skinned person like you have produced me?" What kind of what kind of sick rubbish is that? But anyway, my theory is that Jane Kinga is a beautiful woman and she's dark-skinned, and Mara can't relate to that. I don't understand that, because I've grown up in America. I've had white women around me, brown-skinned women around me, black women of every conceivable skin shade. And to me, the women that make the tongue fall out of my head and make my eyes go like, are you really, really dark-skinned beauties from Kenya and from East Africa? I would jump over 1,000 Masungu women to be next to a beautiful, tall, dark-skinned, oh my God, let me stop, but I love dark-skinned Kenyan women. There's a young lady by the name of Karen Cowboy who is on here, and she doesn't really like me, doesn't like people who speak out against Mara. I look at her with her beautiful lips, her beautiful skin. I think she's one of the most gorgeous people on here. No white woman would ever look as good to me as some of these women. Somebody like Diana Kemi, oh my Lord. She is stunning. And I'm going to tell you something. Part of what makes her stunning for me is that she's very dark. It's not only that she's beautiful, that the color of that skin, oh my God. Ugh. My daughter's mother was a very tall, beautiful looking American woman, and she was incredibly dark. And I was so in love with her because of that beautiful skin color of hers. But that's not Mara. And my theory is that if Jane Kinga had been a white woman or a brown-skinned woman, he would not have treated her as disrespectfully as he did. Marwa, if you're listening to me, my brother, I don't hate you, but I do hate some of the things you do. And I appeal to the Marwa who I began watching when you were in the Philippines. You're a better man than what you're portraying. Please stop and look at the harm that you're causing around you. Please stop begging for people to give you money when you're claiming to be a rich man and everything, which you aren't. But please return those goats and the cattle and everything to the poor people of that community. You should be ashamed of yourself for that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't liked and subscribed my videos, please like and subscribe. Again, this is an experiment. I'm seeing how things are going to work out with this new equipment. So far, so good. Inshallah, alhamdulillah, maybe things will continue to go well. Keep me in your prayers. And brothers and sisters, please keep the people of the Middle East, the Israelis and the Palestinians in prayer. Let's hope that God restores peace to that part of the world. I would like to shout out Max One, the channel of Max One, and I hope he shouts my channel out. I would like to shout out Pramela and Bosco and their channel. The channel has a very complicated name, but what they do is fantastic. I'd like to shout out Gita and A.M. Carroll on Trending. I would also like to shout out Crooked Traveler and both Black Beauty and Modesta Lifestyle, Pello the Boy, who I think should call himself Pello the Man. I'd like to shout all of those channels, and I would also like to ask him, if possible, please something positive about my channel. I would even like to shout out Kung Fu Fanta, who I confess that I have misjudged. And of course, there's the man who, anytime I'm in a bad mood, I hope that he has a video out or something, because he can make me laugh so hard with some of his videos. And I'm talking about Go Matata. I think he's incredible. I think he's a brilliant YouTuber. You know, I'd like to shout all of those people out, and keep your brother Eli in prayer. Keep your bullheaded grandpa in prayer. Ask God, ask Allah to help me. I'm going through a lot of problems, but I think that some of those problems are going to sort themselves out. You know, keep me in your prayers, and you know, I'm trying not to become somebody who is considered a hater. I don't hate anybody. I don't hate Mara. I don't hate Davy Jr. I don't hate anybody. You know, the truth be told, I have always felt a lot of liking for Mara and his family, because before I began practicing Judeo-Islam, you know, which means that I adhere to both Judaism and Islam. Before I began practicing that, I was a Seventh-day Adventist, and I began to study the old festivals of the Old Testaments, of what Jews call the Torah. You know, actually, they called the Old Testament the Tanakh. The Torah are the first 5 books of the Bible, the books of Moses. I began studying that and praying to God, asking Him to open my eyes and let me see His truth. And I ended up becoming a practitioner of something that I'm calling enhanced Seventh-day Adventism. You know, I still believe and practice a lot of things that I learned from the Seventh-day Adventists. I believe in a vegetarian diet. I believe in a vegan diet. And by the grace of God, that has kept me alive and healthy. You know, I just think that they need to reconsider the importance of the Old Testament. And I really have come to love and respect what my Muslim brothers and sisters, because I'm both a Jew and a Muslim, teach about their view of Christ. They see Christ pretty much in the same way that Jehovah's Witnesses see Him. You know, but anyway, I'm not going to get into all of that. All that I'm saying is I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling back to be back on here. And please, brothers and sisters, if you're watching this video and you haven't liked and subscribed my channel, please do so. I'm really hoping to get to 1,000, because I will monetize this account, and hopefully, inshallah, I'll be able to use this as a place in which I can do stuff to improve certain things in my life that I have to improve. Also, I want to put out there that I used to practice law, and I've left that, but I am gradually taking on immigrations people, people who are trying to get into the United States or whatever, and I am assisting them. So if you have, if you want to come to America and you want to find a way of getting here, I can assist you with getting your documents that you need to have in order to enter the United States. Subscribe to my channel, contact me privately, and if I can help you come to America or whatever, you know, if you want to be a one-way traveler and come to America, you know, I would be more than happy to help you, and I will work with you as far as what I would charge you. But in the meantime, please subscribe to my channel and like this video. May God bless all of you, and I hope that you're having a wonderful day. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.